Oh boy, we have lots of Tesla stock breaking news. This will explain why Tesla's stock is up 4% today and likely is going higher throughout this week. First big catalyst up is your vehicle registration numbers for last week out of China. They come in at a whopping 16,700. This is higher than last year's total in this same reporting week of 16,121. If you continue to see insurance registration numbers this high throughout the rest of the weeks of this year, Q4 is going to be one hell of a quarter. But not just that. Tesla has also increased the price of the Model Y long range in China by 2,000 yuan, equivalent to about $280. This is the third price increase in the last 3 weeks, and there was no change to the price for other Model Y trims. Arch rival BYD recently stepped up discounts on a range of models as the China EV and battery giant aims to hit a sales target of 3 million EVs in 2023, although it's hard to find exactly how much of a discount some of these BYD vehicles have recently received. Some reports suggest in between 3 and 5% across all of their highest selling models. So let's get this straight. Tesla is raising prices in China. BYD is now lowering prices in China. That's not what anyone thought was coming next. Furthermore, Tesla has launched a limited time $1,227 insurance incentive in China for rear-wheel drive Model 3 and Model Y buyers if they take delivery by the end of the year. Insurance is one of those things that can be negotiated, that doesn't necessarily have to cost Tesla $1,227 per vehicle. Obviously, insurance is kind of shady, especially in China, I can only imagine. So this is probably not even much of an incentive when all things are considered. This is again being seen as some creative good news for Tesla. Tesla is likely going to get tens of millions of dollars worth of free Cybertruck media coverage this week. This is a Google Trends chart showing the search term Tesla. And you see this spike? Do you know what caused this spike? The highest search terms ever? It was the Cybertruck. And I'm sure it'll look something similar again. Walter Bloomberg posts on X rumors that the Cybertruck will cost between $50,000 and $80,000 according to Wedbush. Quote, "We believe updated pricing will come out at Thursday's event on each of the trim levels as the company scales the Cybertruck production story to give more clarity to the street. Whisper numbers for the single motor are in the $50,000 range, with prices for the dual and tri-motor variants likely to be in the $60,000 to $80,000 range." Did you know Wedbush analyst Dan Ives, someone we talk about often here on this channel, is a 5-star rated analyst in the top 2% of analysts globally? Well, he came out this morning to reiterate an outperform rating on Tesla and a $310 price target after the company scheduled a Cybertruck event for this Thursday to celebrate the first deliveries. The analyst commented, "This is another historical moment for Tesla and Musk with the Cybertruck unveil, as the street is excited to see the formal vehicle launch featuring the dual motor trim and its top-level tri-motor all-wheel drive performance model, along with updates regarding production and scaling of the Cybertruck platform, which is expected to be 250,000 units per year by full year 2025. The option activity from hedge funds and institutions today definitely supports the stock being up 4% as well. You have seen 854 orders totaling $172 million with a positive order value of 72%. Now, this dollar amount is going to get a lot larger by the next video that comes out at 9 p.m. tonight. After about 6 o'clock, all of the data does get fully aggregated and put together here. Now, look at yesterday's number. You had 625 orders yesterday worth $1.61 billion with a positive order value of 93%. That is the most bullish option activity we have seen from hedge funds and institutions in a very long time. I mean, a very long time. So yeah, considering the option activity was 93% positive yesterday, it's not a big shocker that Tesla stock is up 4% today. That's almost to be expected when that option activity is that bullish. So we definitely want to see what the final number looks like today. Join us at 9 p.m. to discuss just that. In other news, the Ford F-150 Lightning is among the top 10 slowest selling used vehicles. Get this. The Swedish Union's IF Metal lawyer admits his family has a Tesla Model Y. Lotus has unveiled a 450 kilowatt-hour fast charger. 5 minutes of charging can add up to 88 miles. It's already available in China and is expected to launch in most European and Middle Eastern countries in the second quarter of 2024. GM is going to cut spending on Cruise after the latest rounds of accidents. There is now a new Tesla supercharger in Castellón, Spain, and it is 12 V4 supercharger stalls. Tesla has released some photos of their booth at the first China International Supply Chain Expo in Beijing, and I mean, it's actually pretty cool. You're seeing up close, personal. This is obviously the chip, right? Probably the main centerpiece for the Tesla. All the different intricacies of the Tesla vehicle itself are pictured there, and its own fancy little exhibit. That's kind of freaking cool. Look at that suspension with the motor here. Tesla has just sent out Cybertruck event ticket details. At 1 p.m. check-in begins. At 1:45 p.m. check-in closes. And at 2 p.m. the keynote and first deliveries take place. Sawyer Merritt will be going on CNBC tonight for a short live interview to discuss the Cybertruck at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're definitely going to have that for you at 9 p.m. as well tonight. In a letter sent Tuesday, nearly 4,000 dealerships urged Biden to slow down on the EV push, citing an EPA proposal from April that could push battery-powered vehicles to 60% of new vehicle sales by the 2030 model year and 67% by 2032. Home prices kept rising even as mortgage rates surged, according to data today from S&P Case Shiller. Says home prices were 3.9% higher in September compared with the same month a year earlier. The growth coincided with a 30-year fixed mortgage rates climb towards 8%. But in some good news, rents are easing while home prices rise. So that should be good news for inflation. Black Friday sales are also up big time, according to Adobe Analytics, up 7.5% from a year ago. Most estimates were for a 3 to 4% rise, whereas Cyber Monday even topped that, as the e-commerce spending in the US totaled $12.4 billion, up 9.6% year over year. This is good news because 70% of GDP is comprised of spending. So if people are spending, GDP should be good. Soft landing is achievable. We avoid a recession. Great news for Tesla in 2024. We also got some good news from the Fed today. Fed Waller expressed confidence that policy is in the right place to bring down inflation. He said Tuesday, he is increasingly confident that policy is currently well positioned to slow the economy and get inflation back to 2%. Waller added that he could see a point where the Fed might start lowering rates if inflation continues to ease over the next 3 to 5 months. But Michelle Bowman offered a contrasting view in which she reiterated her belief that more rate hikes likely will be needed as evolving dynamics keep inflation elevated. 10-year Treasury yields are continuing to decline, now at 4.34%, down about 4.5 basis points today. USO is up about 2%, so that's not great, but USO oil has been falling for a while now, so 2% of an up move today is really not a big deal. The dollar continues on its free fall. This is great news for something like a Tesla. You want to know why stocks really did poorly in 2022? At least a big reason for that was look at this dollar surge from the end of 2021 to the end of 2022. This whole move. This was a 20% increase in the dollar. That means that if you were a company like a Tesla taking in Chinese yuan or taking in the pound or other currencies worldwide, converting that back to dollars, you are getting less dollars the higher this chart goes. So the lower we start to go now, the better that conversion ratio is going to be for multinational companies. So this is more good news today. The weird one here is gold. Gold is up another 1.33%, breaking out to a 6-month high, and it's really hard to know why. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It doesn't seem like things are getting worse globally as far as tensions. Doesn't seem like much is actually happening that should cause gold to be breaking out. But ever since the Middle East crisis started, gold has continued to do well, and that was down here when that actually happened. So gold is up, I mean, like 13% since the crisis in Israel started. So why? We definitely want to be watching this one pretty carefully. Holy moly, someone took out a short position at precisely what could be the worst time to do so. You have seen the amount of shares sold short go from 84 million to 92 million in just the course of 2 weeks. This means the dollar amount currently sold short sits at $21.63 billion. That's the highest it has been for a long time. If Tesla stock continues to move higher, like you're seeing today, up 4%, if the Cybertruck delivery event is positive coming Thursday, if we continue to see a rally in Tesla, the losses for the shorts are going to compound at an aggressive pace, thus meaning a potential short squeeze could actually be around the corner a lot sooner than some people think. As far as your global inventory numbers, your Model Y continues to fall. Your Model S, X, and 3 are kind of baselined here. You're not continuing to see an uptick, nor really a downtick. They're kind of staying around the same. Google Trends data continues to decline slightly for the Model 3, the Model Y, and the Cybertruck. That likely changes coming on Thursday. Tesla continues to run about 300 different ads through Google globally, a majority of which for the US, some for Europe, and a small amount for Australia for energy products. We do have some earnings throughout the rest of this week and some big earnings today as well, like CrowdStrike. We do have a trade on that. If you guys want to come trade with us, come see that trade, come get involved in the community. Link down below in the description of this video. But you also have Workday, Intuit, Splunk, Hewlett-Packard, NetApp, the Ezek company, Leslie's, Fluence, and Toya. And then tomorrow morning, Foot Locker, Dollar Tree, Fairfetch, Nordic American Tankers, Petco, Hormel Foods, Coal Plant, Vestis, Donaldson, and Billy B. And then tomorrow, after hours, some other big ones like Snowflake, Salesforce, Okta, Synopsys, Pure Storage, Five Below, Victoria's Secrets, PVH, Nutanix, and Lazy Boy. Thursday pre-market, Kroger, TD Bank, Big Lots, Build-A-Bear Workshop, RBC, Cracker Barrel, Frontline. Those are going to be some of your bigger ones. Thursday after hours, Marvell, Ulta Beauty, UiPath, Dell, and Samsara will be reporting earnings. And then BMO and Gensco Friday before the bell. A quick look at your yield curve inversion. Your 10-year, 2-year is inverted 45 basis points. This is actually good news, believe it or not, to see this inverting more, because once you uninvert, that's when you actually become on recession watch, if you will. Anytime you uninvert and then re-steepen and go back above the black line here, this zero line, you tend to go into recession shortly thereafter. For your economic data, your consumer confidence report came in better than expected, around 102. The estimate was about 101, so that's a little bit better than expectations. Richmond Fed Manufacturing came in worse than expectations at -5. The forecast was for 1. Richmond Fed Manufacturing shipments came in at -8. The consensus was for 7 positive, so that missed big time. But Richmond Fed Services Index came in better than expected at 1. You were expecting -12. Dallas Fed Services came in at -11.6, better than the expected -19. And Dallas Fed Service Revenues Index came in at -2.4. That was much worse than the estimate for positive 0.1. A big story as well was your 7-year bond auction. The last 7-year bond auction we had, well, that yield came in at 4.9%. Today, your 7-year bond auction came in at 4.39%. So that's a big reason why 10-year Treasury yields are falling about 4.5 basis points today. And another big reason that's Tesla stock is being helped out here. As Treasury yields fall, Tesla should do better as it's cheaper to finance a Tesla when long duration yields do fall. Another reason why Tesla stock is doing well today, on top of the many others that we shared in this video. At the time of recording this video, Tesla is trading near the highest point of the day so far, up about 4.20%. Oh, the irony. You broke above that 50-day moving average today very strongly. You're going to close above that, that's for sure. You are now testing your 100-day moving average at $246.14 per share. If you close above that, then the situation looks even more exciting. Heading into Thursday, guys, you could see a face ripper rally in Tesla stock. We'll discuss more of the technicals as well as the short position that has ballooned in Tesla in the video at 9 p.m. tonight, the option activity, what Sawyer Merritt says on CNBC, all of that will be in that video that comes out at 9 p.m. tonight. But nonetheless, what I'll tell you right now is the situation looks incredible for Tesla bulls. The RSI today is around 60 and your MACD is about to turn positive on your blue line. That is your signal line. Your MACD line is positive by 2.71. These two things suggest Tesla stock, well, could go a lot higher from here before you start to get on the technical overbought side. So that is everything you need to know as a Tesla stock investor today. If you guys learned something out of this video, you enjoyed it, you like my perspective, or whatever reason there other could be, hit that like button as well as subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to come trade with us live in real time, link down below in the description of this video. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Michael Tyler, and I will see you at 9 p.m. tonight.